Wow. Let me just start by saying that. Wow. I feel so honored to share this space with education reformers from across the country who insist on excellence from their students, no matter their economic or racial background. We're all here for one reason and one reason only. Kids. The kids we serve. The kids whose lives are in our hands. Our kids. The first step to empowering our kids is empowering ourselves. Each and every one of you has done that by just being here today. You can snap. The objective today is pretty straightforward. Teacher leaders will be able to empower themselves to be social change agents who overcome poverty. We all know there's some controversy out there about us education reformers. People who are privatizing education, who don't belong here, who are ruining communities. Well, I got one thing to say. I'm guilty. But I'm guilty of one thing and one thing only: caring too much. So before we start today's session, I just want to lay down a ground rule, more like a fact. We are the teacher leaders that our kids need, no exceptions. As a teacher for just under 1 year in Detroit, and just over 3 months in New Orleans, I understand kids. So today's presentation is dedicated to Rashad, Shamika, and Stephanie. Let me tell you something. I may not be their teacher every time. I may not be their teacher anymore, but I think about them every single day. Poverty. Poverty stems from a history of oppression that disproportionately impacts people of color and people who make less money. That then results in an opportunity gap between our kids and their white middle-class counterparts, which then results in an achievement gap. But today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to take away that achievement gap. I'm going to take away that opportunity gap, and yes, I'm going to take away that history of oppression. And when I do that, we're left with just one thing: change. Sometimes when I get home from work, I just Google poverty. And each time I'm baffled with what I find on the internet. People who speculate that a kid who is hungry can't learn. People who claim that walking on a straight line in the hallway somehow exacerbates trauma. People who insist that violence from the home community would somehow impact the school. Well, I have one thing to say to that. No excuses. No excuses for absences. No excuses for below mastery learning. No excuses for anything besides college-bound behavior. As a leader, I empower through challenge. So I challenge each and every one of you to take any transformational moment from your classroom and tweet it to my Twitter handle, No Excuses. Second challenge, change your mindset. For while you may see poverty, I see potential. Thinking and talking too much about poverty has never done anyone any good ever. How do I know this? From my experience as a 22-year-old white man. I did some really great volunteer work last year in India with the New Orleans Game Changers in education. We visited hospitals, schools, villages, and anytime I was calling a friend or family from home, I was perplexed by the questions they'd asked. Here's one. Had the children consumed a meal that day? I don't really know. Because gratitude had consumed me. Well, was the water supply contaminated? I can't tell you because I was too busy handing out t-shirts from my alma mater to my scholars. Well, were these kids part of the caste system? I'm sorry, say again, these kids? These kids? Oh, you mean our kids? Because whether from Thailand or Syria, Vietnam, or Africa, these kids, they are all our kids. Thank you.